If you have been following along in the HTML and CSS course, so far you have all the skills to create a beautiful design of a web page. Now, the reason I say the word web page is if you think about it like let's say you're thinking about facebook.com. Facebook.com is a website with multiple pages. Maybe they have a specific layout for the profile pages, a different layout for the feeds pages, a different layout for the home page and the login page. So every page has a different layout. So when you are designing your beautiful website, you're going to design different pages that layouts differently. So you're going to say, okay, I'm going to sit down and design my home page layout. All right. And now in this next few videos, we're going to be creating with the same skills that you have so far, this particular design. So it has these rounded corners. It has a name of the website, let's say, a beautiful image that stretches along. The entire website or web page layout is actually in center in the middle and has these different background colors over here, the blue color. If you scroll down, these are the list of blog posts over here, right? Just a static design. And on the right hand side, there's a sidebar with a few links. If you scroll down over here, there is simply a footer with a separator over here and the copyright symbol and the footer with the name of the website, let's say. All right. So this is what we're going to be creating in the next few videos. Now, one thing to realize that when you actually start off designing your website or web for a client or for your personal website, the first thing you do is actually on a piece of paper. That's what I do personally. On a piece of paper, I would actually draw out without perfection what my website layout is going to look like. So I'm going to basically just scribble. Now, if you're not up to scribbling on a piece of paper, you can actually come to something like Photoshop or Affinity Photo, which is an alternative to Google Adobe Photoshop. You can use a tool like that and just lay out what your website is going to look like. So in this case, I'm using in Google Drive, there's a feature called Drawing, Google Drawings, and you can actually just lay out something like this. So I say, okay, I'm going to have this entire website layout, and it's going to have multiple containers. So maybe the header container, maybe the big image container, and then there's going to be the body container. Inside the body container, I'm going to have a right-hand side container and a left-hand side container and a footer container. This is just a big picture, right? Now inside each of these containers, we can have more containers, right? And then with the power of CSS, I'm going to lay out these containers on top, on bottom, on right and left, right? And add colors and styling to it, right? So that is where everything starts. So once you have that, the next step that I personally take is actually will go to a software like Adobe Photoshop or Affinity Photo and draw out in good detail what the actual design is going to look like before I'm going to come to writing code. That's how websites are made, because when you play around with the code and you are making these changes, you may not get the perfect colors and combinations that you want. Another thing which is very important to make beautiful website is a sense of design. A lot of developers struggle with the sense of design. They just don't understand which colors go well with others and stuff like that. And a good tip for you, the way I learned to be good at design, is actually I would just initially just copy what designs I liked. Right? So if you go to a website and you like a particular design, you say, okay, I'm going to use the same color combinations, the same spacing, the same fonts, and I'm just going to use all the same thing, and I would just copy it and I would like it. Of course, and then after I've copied it, I would maybe change a few things around, but I would just copy. I'm a big copier. That's the way I've learned how to design. That's the way I've learned how to code. I would copy other people's projects and, by hand, I would hand code it, not copy pasting it. I would just hand code it. All right. And when I copy it, I would internalize the author's or the original person's thought processes. And actually, in the world of writing as well, if you want to become a writer, a lot of these successful writers will actually hand copy the writings of the people that they admire. All right. And when they copy their writing, they actually subconsciously internalize how to structure the message, how to come up with a good story, how to have a starting, ending, body. They just understand those things when you copy. So that is the tip that I want to give you. And actually, just the last thing, that's the way children learn as well. They just copy. They just copy what they see. So the copy technique really works. So with that said, in the next few videos, we're going to be hand coding this particular beautiful blog design that I call it, and you will learn and you will internalize how to think like a developer, how to design like a developer, and you will actually copy this design as well. So talk to you in the next video, and we're going to hand code this.